All right.
All right. Hooray!
Thank you, Jimmy. Jimmy, Mitch. Let's hear for Jimmy Longoria and Mitch and all these guys who painted this mural. And if there's anybody out there, let's make room for anybody who wants to come on in. You know, have a seat. Come on. We got plenty of room here, but you know, we want folks in to be comfortable. But let me tell you, we have a job ahead of us. The job is not I need to get reelected with your help, but that's the bottom rung of the ladder that we're building. We have got to increase voter turnout by about 5%. And what that means, in the last presidential election, last time we were doing Obama in 2008, we got about 228,000 votes in the 5th Congressional District. We need about 250,000 this time. That means we got to get everybody we got last time, plus about 22,000 more. We can do this with young people, with artists, with new Americans. We can do this with students. We can do this with people who somehow missed the election last time. The people who moved here, we can do it. But it's going to have to take everybody. I want you to know that last election, just the last election, the election we just went through, every congressional Democrat went down in voter turnout. Oberstar went down. That's why we don't have him with us anymore. Walls went down. McCollum went down. Let me tell you where the vote totals went up in the 5th Congressional District. They went up 18,000 votes. 18,000 votes. Now think about this. Let's just say we just mailed it in and we ended up, going down like everybody else went down. We wouldn't have had those 18,000 votes. Does anybody know how much Governor Dayton won by? 8,700.
He would not be in.
He would not be the governor. We would have a replay of Wisconsin, only it would be worse because they have a recall law and we don't. What I'm telling you is the 5th Congressional District is the highest concentration of Democrats in the state of Minnesota. Anywhere you leave, if you leave the 5th Congressional District, it just gets a little bit more Republican from here. This is the ground zero for the Democratic base in the state of Minnesota. Wellstone, yes, he's from Northfield, but he won here. This is where Hubert H. Humphrey was the mayor. And where he told them in 1948 that they're gonna leave the dark days of segregation and walk into the bright light of integration. And it upset Senator Strom Thurmond so much, he walked out of the convention and started the Dixiecrats. This is the kind of place you and I live in. Are you proud?
Yeah.
This is the kind of place, I'm telling you that this is where folks like Wellstone were from. This is where folks like Walter Mondale, who was instrumental in the civil rights movement in this country. This is the kind of place that we're from. The 5th Congressional District is a wonderful place. It's a magical place, and it's such an honor to be able to serve here and work with all the folks who are so progressive. And when I say progressive, what I mean is people who really believe that, if you're willing to lean into it a little bit, throw your shoulder into it a little bit, that you ought to be able to make a good living, that you ought to be able to organize on your job for better wages and working conditions, that you ought to be able to start that business that you've been dreaming about. You ought to be able to paint beautiful things for people to marvel at. You ought to be able to retire after a long life of hard work and dignity, right? Nobody should be messing with your Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid. Then if you're a young one, you ought to be able to go to a good school where you can get a solid education, kindergarten included. This is where people believe that. Where we believe that, we're not just against this one, we're against the next one. The one they haven't even announced yet. We think peace, diplomacy, development is the way to go. We think working it out rather than shooting it out is the way to go. This is the community we live in. We believe, we can have good jobs and clean air, and we don't have to pick one or the other. We can have both. This is who we are. This is what we're about, and we're going to save this state because we got to go get 5%. That means about 22,000 more votes.